Well, hi, good morning, and thank you for joining me in my shop. Today is April 10th, 2024, and in front of me is an old beater of a radio. I've had this out in my garage for, I don't know, a year or two, I guess, waiting for me to take a look at it. It's one of these big floor-standing radios. I mean, look at the size of the chassis here. Holy smokes. And it's just been sitting out there, and I've never actually looked at it carefully. I've never taken the chassis out till now. And this guy is not in very good shape at all. Yeah. Plus, I don't have a speaker for it. There's a plug on the back for the speaker to go in. Hey, here's the dial cord. That's handy. It's all caught up in here. Some still on the pointer. So, looks like an interesting radio. It's got lots of bands, I believe. This would be the pointer or tuning control. Yeah, there's a string that goes around here. What would that be for? Doesn't line up with anything. Well, maybe it does. But wait a minute. But this is the band switch. The string right here. Okay, we'll look at that a little closer in a moment here. So what I'm doing today with this, I didn't really say it, is I'm deciding whether I'm going to attempt to restore this radio to operation or not. Let's look underneath. Close your eyes. She's never seen any work. Maybe this might be somebody's work. This might be somebody's work. Might be. But all the rest of the capacitors are all wax capacitors. There's lots of space in here to work. Holy smokes. Lots and lots of space. From the front panel, all these buttons look the same, but in fact there's a set here coming into this thing, and then there's a set here coming into this thing. Well, it's all there. Power capacitor right here, right across the power line. Yeah, that's a beast. Is there anything more to do with this? Yeah, there's a string wrapping around here. What is this for? With a string on it. Must be, it could be doing something with panel lights, or some kind of a mask or indicator is somehow moving. I don't see anything like that here. You don't see anything looking above it. There's something odd back there. Let me get another camera going here, and we're going to take a look. The string is going through this lever. Huh. You know what I think that is? I think that's a strip. this the piece we're talking about here. This piece I'm, come on camera. Ah! This piece I'm wiggling here goes through these brackets down here. You see there's a little window looking out the front? So it's the band indicator. And if you move that strip back and forth, if I can do it. There we are, band B, band A. Okay, that's what that is. So this would have its own separate string on it, I'm sure. A lot of corrosion right in here, but you see how the steel is more corroded right in that area. It's probably a bit of copper in here. The only reason it would be blue is it's copper. Copper and steel put together, steel corrodes, copper gets protected even though you see it. Copper not very well protected. You'd have to dump this underwater. What I'm talking about is something called cathodic protection. Now that's the string in there, is it? Yeah, it's just the string. It's kind of slid off its thing there. Kind of a strange pattern on the front of this too, this light and dark pattern. Don't really know why they've done that. And the glass, of course, is back in the big cabinet. Look at the top of the capacitors. They've got some kind of white powder on them. The other one gets really obvious. It looks like a bit of a volcano thing happening there. So, hey, you think these are any good? Wouldn't bet on that. Now look at these tubes now. We've got two wires hanging out here. One's probably ground and the other one's probably the antenna lead. All these tubes are completely shielded. Look at the shields even extend up, way up here. So what tubes are under there? I'm going to guess these are all 3-letter tubes. There's a message back here. What's the message? Silvertone. Silvertone tubes and aerial kits are matched to Silvertone radios. They're really trying to sell their parts here. Don't you dare try anybody else's in this radio. There's something else here. These terminals for connection of television converter or record. So television. That puts a certain age on this, doesn't it? When did television start in earnest? 46, 47? I don't really know. I don't know for sure. A, D, and G. So the aerial, D, dipole, D. G is obviously ground. D, not sure what D would be. There we are. All in correspondence relative to this unit. Always mention this identification number. 101, looks like 583-2. Order replacement parts by mail or through any of our retail stores. Sears, Roebuck and Company, USA. What's this doing here in Canada? It's possible somebody went to the States, bought this and brought it back. That's possible. I notice this is tipped a little bit on a funny angle. It's not in the socket all the way, but I notice the glass globe has lost its glue fitting here. And look at these tubes. So these can be a problem here. Let's look what they are. What's that say there? 6 P5 6. I've never heard of that. What's that? Uh-oh. There's another one. 6 P5. Oh, I've never heard of those. Well, maybe the next step is to see if we can't... Oh, Super Silvertone. Oh, I wonder if these tubes have their own number system in order to confuse everybody. That's a 5A... Looks like 5AC5. 5? 5? Super Silvertone. They're all original tubes. Oh man, these must be really rare. Huh. Yeah, it's not easy to decide whether you want to commit to something like this because it can be an awful lot of work met by a dead end because you can't get a tube or something like that. All the tubes in here are probably quite rare. These are probably all Silvertone branded tubes also. Who knows where they were made? They might have been made in an RCA factory. Let's take one out. Not expecting any surprises here. At least no more surprised than I am already. So the cap on the top of this tube is already loose. So we're going to leave that tube there. See about another one. Yeah, this one's good. Now, even if these are Silvertone branded tubes and they have funny numbers on them, those numbers may relate to more commonly used numbers. In other words, it could be like this could be a 2x4, but it has a funny number on it. Oh, baby. 6U7. That's another strange one. Guarantee. It's no date. Super Silvertone. 6U7. There's a story here I'm not aware of, I'm sure. There's a Silvertone story. Silvertone story, yes. Well, they are Loctal tubes. So maybe that's the next step. Do a little bit of research on this. See what I got my hands on. Maybe find a schematic or service manual. Okay, so here's a picture. This is what I have in my garage. This radio sitting out there, and you can see the glass dial on it. And the rest of it is here on my bench. So that's what it looks like. And I've got the schematic here for it. Here's all the tubes we can look at and see what tubes are there. I'm just concerned there's tubes here that, like these 6P5s. You know, I don't have 6P5s, but it turns out I've learned already that this is a triode similar to a 76 with a different base. This has a modernized base on it. So that's the thing. Yeah, wow. If one of these is burned out, there's 3 of them here. Yikes. 6AC5, I think that's a fairly common tube, I think. 6Q7, very common. 6U7, I'm not sure. 6K8, common. Again, 6U7, not sure. 5X4. Don't know anything about this tube. 5X4, it's a great big rectifier. Looks like an 80 to me. 5X4, we should find a little more out about that. The radio is probably fairly straightforward inside. You know, there is some evidence of corrosion. That means a lot of these parts inside may have been attacked by corrosion. In particular are the coil connections. Some of them hidden from view inside cans and stuff like that. It's possible there's been a failure in one of the coils. It's quite possible there's a number of bad problems in this radio. Let's look at the speaker here, because I don't have a speaker for it. Well, I do. I don't have the original speaker. It came without a speaker. But I have 3 field coil speakers, all of them on their baffle boards too. Looking for a radio to find a home in. Look at this. We'll put it right on it. 600 watt speaker field. So this is a big concern. This field coil is a big concern. If you're going to swap out speakers, yikes. And this is probably all part of the speaker. And this is a transformer here. Yikes. So it's a very specific kind of transformer. Look at center tapped. That's because this is a push-pull output. So you have 2 output tubes, 2 driver tubes, a phase flipper tube here. Wow. That's a lot of effort had to be put out to just increase the power in the speaker using this push-pull technique. You know, tubes like anything, they have their limit. But if you can get 2 of them to work together, then you've got, you know, twice as much. And that's what the push-pull idea was. You get double the power out. Well, you get a couple other benefits with push-pull. But the detriment is it's expensive. And there's nothing unusual here. Just a magic eye. That's a common magic eye. Probably not working. Yeah. Well, I gotta stop and think now for a little bit. What am I gonna do here? Well, I'm gonna have to think hard about this before I take this on as a repair attempt. When I take something on like this, you know, I don't like to quit, and that means you know, I could drag myself down a pretty ugly road here, a road to nothing. Some of the issues here, one of the big ones is the speaker, and the fact that it's push-pull, and I don't know what I've got. I've got these 3 speakers. I think they all have transformers mounted on them. Are they designed for push-pull, or and would they work? Could I just hook up somebody else's speaker to this radio? I really don't know. That's a big problem right there. Secondly, is there some serious defect in here? Shorted IF coil, blown transformer? I don't know. Who knows? Probably not, but I don't know. Components in it look to me to be worn out enough that there's no way I can start this thing up the way it is. Certainly not. I have to do some amount of work. How much work would I have to do to discover that it's not worth doing any work? That's a good question there too. Yeah. So, and the condition of the cabinet, there's nothing fantastic looking about this radio. It's actually kind of drab looking. The cabinet's rather drab. The whole thing is drab. But, you know, once you light up that dial, it's got 2 lights. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to spend the rest of today thinking about it. It's a beautiful day outside again. The sun is shining. We got lots of stuff to do outside. And, yeah. That's as far as I can go today. I need some time to think about this, how to approach it efficiently, and not end up doing a huge amount of work only to find out I shouldn't have done any of it. So that's the deal. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoy your day. See ya.